Hello, everybody, and welcome to At the Table with Jennifer McQueen. I am, of course, your self-proclaimed lovely host, Jennifer McQueen. I am here today because I'm pretty much sure everybody can get into free. So we want to talk to you today about homeschooling for free. Yes, everybody wants to homeschool for free. So we are here to give you ideas, tips, resources. I have some amazing parents here to talk to you and share about their ideas, their resources. Some are fellow homeschool parents who have even started their own free resources to help you out. So let's please welcome our very first guest. We are going to bring up a friend of mine, Leah Ramirez. Hello, Leah.
Hello.
Leah is a homeschooling mom of how many?
7.
Of 7. So she has definitely got this whole homeschooling thing down. She's a private homeschooler. So I'm super, super excited for her to share with you guys all of her really creative and unique ways that she has been homeschooling. So Leah, if you want to go ahead and say hello, introduce yourself, and share with us, how do you do this homeschooling thing?
Well, yeah, like you said, my name's Leah. I've been homeschooling for probably 20 years now. I've graduated 4, and I have 3 left. That I have one that's going to be starting kindergarten in the fall. So I've got a long way to go still. And I have graduated those children from my homeschool. So I have successfully adulted the humans. So proof that it can happen. Anyway, we're radical unschoolers. So we are usually like way out in left field in the homeschooling realm. Most people don't really go as far out as we did, but my children make their own decisions in regards to their education is the best way to put it. And I'm the facilitator. So, and if you would think that it would cost $1 million to do that for that many kids, but as the other ladies are going to show you, there's 1,001 websites out there that do things for little to no cost. And actually the pandemic put that into the stratosphere. There were so many more places offering free things than ever before, and so much more interconnectivity that we never had access to. I mean, it's been amazing. This last year, as far as homeschooling was concerned, it blew it into the stratosphere. I mean, I'm sure the other people are going to talk about that. But as far as what we do have money budgeted for our homeschool every month, but we don't really need to spend it. We find that we are able to do 90% of what we want for nothing now, especially now. And I'm not even going to talk about all of the websites that everyone else is going to talk about because they're, I'll let them, we use those ones too. But we have found, especially the last year, when I sit down with the students, whichever one of my kids is I'm educating that year. And we're doing it actually this week again. They give me a list, and we do it quarterly. So it's like, where are you going to be? They give me a list. Now I have an 8th grader, a kindergartner, and a 10th grader. So that'll give you an idea. And they tell me what they want to study or learn or know more about, or what their passions are, what their interests are. And we kind of disseminate it into subjects, which makes it easier to find. It's like once you label something, you know what to Google. So Prussian War. Okay, well, we can work with that. And you just start, of course, the first step is always the library, because they have all the books. And libraries now have this really awesome thing. Merced County has it. So pretty much everyone. Merced County is always the last person to get anything. So everyone else must already have this. But if the library doesn't have the book you're looking for, you can buy it on Amazon through the library, and they will have it sent to you, and you can use it and then give it back to the library, just like a regular library book. It's
Wow.
amazing. It's a fabulous thing. It's like 3 clicks, a swipe, and you've got the book you're looking for. So all those weird, hard to find books or something about the Persian War that your library system doesn't seem to have, they will buy it for you. So that's something that you can get pretty much any book that you are looking for. I've never come across a book that wasn't on that like approved purchase list. So
Wow.
that's something that libraries do now, which means like every book that you would need that you don't actually need to purchase it and own it. You can just rent it for free. We do that. That's our first line of defense. We just have stacks and stacks of library books. And then I will Google. So I'm not even looking at a specific website. I will just search for something. If you type in the words free worksheet or free curriculum or free this, like, you have to know your homeschool vernacular. You have to know those words to look in, because if you type in the word free or you type in the word free download and the Prussian War free download, can you tell one of my kids was interested in the Prussian War? Because that's what's popped into my brain. But there was a million things out there. A lot of them come from the same websites that you guys are familiar with. But there's always going to be a few random websites that no one's ever heard of that's just going to have this little gold nugget that you can print out or buy on Etsy for $2 and just get the whole thing. That's another thing that you don't really think about. But Etsy and Teachers Pay Teachers has such amazing content for little to no money. Mm-hmm. And I mean, Etsy is like a crafting one, but I have found over and over again content for educational purposes there that I've never found anywhere else. And it's like a download for $1 or $2. So you could spend hours every day and never spend a penny. I mean, there's places like Khan Academy. Khan Academy now has the entire curriculum subset from kindergarten through college. It's not just math anymore. And that doesn't cost a penny. So, I mean, you really don't have to spend any money if you don't want to. It's fantastic. I highly recommend checking out those options and the options that the other people are going to talk about. But once you have a concept that you're going with, most of the stuff out there is going to be free. It's not even that hard to find. I mean, I'm not spending hours searching like I used to back in the olden days before Pinterest existed and you had to know what you wanted. Now it's literally 2 clicks away, anywhere, anything that you might possibly be looking for. So when people think that homeschooling is expensive, the truth is 15 years ago, it was expensive. It was really expensive. You had to buy a full curriculum. You had to do all these things, and it was hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every year. I remember. And now you can even get free if your kid wants to learn how to play an instrument. My children have played various instruments over the years, and we have only maybe paid for 2 or 3 lessons ever, because YouTube has all of the lessons you could ever want on anything for free. So that's how I learned how to play guitar, is from YouTube. That's how my son learned how to play his guitar. My daughter plays the bass. We've got a couple piano tinkerers, and it's all been from YouTube. So everything. Latin, there's free Latin on YouTube. If you're a classical homeschooler who loves Latin, you do not need to drive to Modesto anymore, or out of the middle of nowhere to get a Latin teacher. There is an entire courses of Latin on YouTube now for free. So just that combination is really all you need, and a library card, and you will have more than you could ever learn in a lifetime.
Yeah. So you have clearly found a way to homeschool 7 kids successfully. You have a budget that you set aside, but you don't even need it because you can find so many things for free. So what I'm hearing is just start with whatever topic you're interested in. The library is a great resource. I had no idea that if the library doesn't have the book there, that they would order it for you at no cost to you. And then, of course, it goes in the circulation, which is very sustainable, great for you, great for them. Yep. So they are also increasing, what their patrons may want. And then it's almost kind of like shopping at a clothing store for a good sale, checking those racks. Just go online, Google, look, and then bam, you will come across that gem. Okay, fantastic. So you have got it clearly figured out. And if you want to touch base with Leah, and if you have any questions with her, you want to bounce ideas off of her, or you just want to continue the conversation about something you heard her mention today, go ahead and email her. Her email is right there on the screen, leahjramirez@gmail.com. She is happy to talk to you, happy to help you, and happy to give you a little push in the right direction. All right. Thank you so much, Leah, for coming and for sharing with us about all the wonderful things that you are doing for free with your 7 kids. Okay, we have next coming up, let's bring up Amber. Okay, we have Amber Gamble here. She is going to talk to us about 2 different free programs. The first one she's going to talk to us about is ST Math. Okay, Amber, why don't you say hi, give us a little intro to who you are, and tell us all of your favorite things and why you love ST Math.
Okay. So my name is Amber, and I was a public school teacher for a very long time. I taught for 9 years in Las Vegas and a couple years here in California. In between those times, I stayed home with my children. And then after going back to work with them at the school where they were attending, I decided that public school wasn't the place for my children, and I pulled them out. And last year I did do a charter, but this year we've already started and we are doing independent again. Because of freedom. So ST Math is one of those great programs that Leah mentioned that is free right now because of the pandemic. So I can't guarantee it's right now, it's July 2021. So you can't guarantee it'll be free in the future. But right now for this upcoming school year, all the way through June of 2022, it is free. And I had told somebody this on Facebook, and I will try to share this. So let's see if it works.
We appreciate that. Yeah, it sounds like maybe it might be a tad tricky to access, so we would love that.
Okay. Oh, it did work. You can see it, right?
I cannot.
Oh, it shows up on my thing, but oh, okay. Let's see. Tab. There we go. Now can you see it? It's blinking at me.
Yes, there it goes.
Okay. So I just searched ST Math free, and I was able to find this. But at the top here, it says stmath.com/learning-recovery. And then they tell you that it's free through June 30th, 2022 for all families because they know that children have fallen behind in school because of the closures of school. So that's just that here, and you can just click free access for families and you can sign up, and it's very easy to sign up. Okay, so now how do I get out of that? Oh, okay, it's gone, right?
Girl, I got you.
All right. So when I taught in Las Vegas, we used this program, and the school paid thousands and thousands of dollars to have this very high quality program for all of their students. It was a very impoverished area with lots of students who spoke second language. English was their second language. And what's great about this program is your child doesn't have to be able to read. So if they're a struggling reader or they're in kindergarten or preschool or whatever it is, they don't have to be able to read. The whole thing is absolutely visual. And so it teaches them math concepts with very visual games. But it's not a video game. Like some programs feel so much, I know people like Prodigy, but if you've ever watched your kid play Prodigy, it looks very much like a video game. And there is learning involved in there, but they can get so easily sidetracked on doing all these things like building up their characters and collecting spells and whatever, that a lot of times they're playing a video game. And this isn't like that. It is very much a visual way to learn math, and it is based on the Common Core standards by a grade level. So if you feel like, oh, my 5th graders should be doing 6th grade math, you can put them in 6th grade, or 4th grade math, you can put them in 4th grade. But it is still based on those standards, and they're going to learn all those skills, but they're not sitting there doing 22 plus 44 is 66. It pulls up these flowers, and it shows the 10 petals to represent the 10s and the 1s to represent the 1s, and they're building things and they're manipulating things. And the whole time they're just trying to get this cute little penguin across the screen, but they're not, it doesn't look like math problems like you would see in a book, and it's all visual. And when I was using this in the public schools, it made a huge difference on the students' ability to pass their exams at the end of the year. And they did all of that without having to do worksheet after worksheet after worksheet, because it's not a worksheet and it doesn't feel like a worksheet. But it's not, a game where you might feel like as a parent that they're wasting their time. And it is free for this school year. It was free last year as well. So if you haven't checked it out, I would recommend that you search for that ST Math free. and sign up for it for your kids. And if you don't like it, then, you know, don't use it. But I would suggest looking into it because it's free and it's not normally free. And it's normally over $100 a student and it's a full curriculum. So they, you know, they cover all the standards. So you could use this and technically nothing else for math, and or just supplement when you feel like they need it, or do game schooling or whatever. And it would cover all their math standards. So that's why I
this is amazing. I'm really glad that you came on to share this. I actually, I did not know a lot about ST Math prior to this, but this is great. I love, this is kind of a bit of a unique situation because it's not a program, like you said, that's always, or it's not meant to be free and it's not always free. This is actually typically a paid for program, but right now, because we linked up with Amber, she's here to let us know that it's going to be free all the way through June 2022. So like you said, it would be a great idea if you have, especially if you have somebody struggling in math, this is a great different approach with it being all visual. I love that. So go ahead and give that a try. If you have a student struggling in math, or you're just looking for something new to switch it up, maybe something a little more fresh, this is free. Log on, try it out. Amber showed us how to find it. Thank you so much for doing that. You are very technically savvy on that. So let's move forward and let's touch on Good and Beautiful levels 1 through 5. So I know you had mentioned that with this particular program, I think there's more levels than 1 through 5, but specifically levels 1 through 5 are the levels that are free. So you're going to talk to us about that, but that being said, you can access more levels, however, those would be paid. So let's dive into Good and Beautiful and talk to us about why you love this one.
Okay, thank you. I will say on the ST Math that they have extended that date multiple times. So it wouldn't, you know, if someone's watching this in the future, it wouldn't hurt to look and see because they keep extending the date. So it could happen again. So the Good and the Beautiful, if you haven't heard of it, it is a Christian-based company. So for some people, it will not work for them. But it's not like a doctrine-based. It's more like they'll say things like, you know, God loves the children, or, you know, you should pray. And they have words like in their sight word list, Jesus and prayer and church and things like that. But it's not like doctrine-based or anything like that, where some programs are very heavy on their doctrine and teaching kids. This is more like wholesome based. But it is free if you go to their website. Their reading program, which has been around for, I think, like 5 or 6 years, and it's pretty popular in the homeschooling. It is 100% free for levels 1 through 5. So you can print all of their PDFs. You can access the books. Like they have readers and sight cards and all different things. And all of that stuff is available for free. And they're releasing their math right now. They've released about half of it. And by August 2nd, they'll have through levels 5. And again, they're making their levels 1 through 5 free. So their kindergarten level is not free, but their 1 through 5 are free. And that's just something that the owner, I guess, feels very strongly about, providing good materials for homeschooling. I used this last year for my children. And my son, who I had pulled out of public school about halfway through 1st grade, he was struggling learning to read in school. He did not struggle in kindergarten, but when it came to 1st grade, he was struggling. And I'm sure there were a lot of reasons why, but it's one of the big reasons why I pulled him out of school. And so I used level 1 with him, and their program is considered advanced. So level 1 doesn't mean 1st grade. And honestly, comparing it to what they do in 1st grade, I would say it was like starts at about a midway through a 1st grade level. And it was perfect for him to start with, and he struggled at the beginning. But now he started level 2 a couple weeks ago because we just started our school year. And let me see, he is excelling in reading. You would not know that he started out 2nd grade still reading at a beginning 1st grade level, because he is, if not on level, probably above level now in reading. And he is just soaring through this program. And so he did sight words last year, but I was going to show this. So here are his sight word lists here that he just started on. And he is not struggling with these. He is mastering them. It says to read them 3 times. So once he's read it 3 different days, he gets the check mark. And you can see he's already mastered these first 4 lists. And we just started this, like, I think we're on lesson 12 or something. 8, actually. We were only on lesson 8 today. So he's already just zooming right through it because he did so well with it in second grade. And so he's doing level 2 now. And he is just doing very, very well. I am also using it with my youngest daughter, but that is the level K, which I purchased. And I did purchase the books, so I was going to address that. The books are about $30, and they are very thick, sturdy, camera's backwards there, spiraled. And my husband and I discussed it because they have all these beautiful, if you're not familiar with the program, that's why it's called The Good and Beautiful, because it talks about all these good and beautiful things, all this beautiful artwork, and it's very colorful. And so we decided that it wasn't worth trying to save the money and printing it ourselves because it would cost paper, time, money, and this is thicker paper. But everything else I do use, they're free. I did not purchase any of their books because they're available for free. So we take those PDFs and we put them on the iPad or the Kindle so the kids can just read the books like that. And same thing, like their other printable stuff, I just printed it. I didn't purchase anything printed. You can, they sell it as a packet, and I think you save some money that way. But overall, I mean, you don't save as much money as just printing it or using it for free as a PDF. But I do know that a lot of people overseas like to just print the PDFs themselves because it's so expensive to ship things to the other countries. But overall, it's a very high quality program, and it's amazing that they offer it for free, and it's completely open and go. So if you're a parent with multiple kids, my kids are kindergarten, 3rd grade, and 6th grade. So if you need something open and go, it is, and it's beautiful, and it's really easy to use. And their upcoming math, they've been releasing, and I've already looked at the 4th grade that just came out. You can look, and that's the other thing is you can look at the whole curriculum before you decide, do I really want to spend $30 on that? Because it's all free. So, and it's high quality.
Very good. Okay, I love this. And you're right, those illustrations that you showed, those are beautiful. And I'm all about the intersecting, the art in any possible way that I can. I love that you showed that. Thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so Good and the Beautiful, levels 1 through 5 are free. The books that you showed are not for free, but you do have options. You can either choose to purchase it, as Amber did, or there are other workarounds, but sounds like possibly getting the book might be a little more worth your dollar and time. Okay, this was fantastic. If you have any questions about ST Math or Good and Beautiful, please, please, please feel free to email me here at, I'm sorry, I didn't even put my email, but you can find me on social media at just_Jennifer13. Go ahead and message me. My DMs are open. I can connect you. I can answer your questions, and I can definitely help you out with all of your questions relating to ST Math and Good and Beautiful, levels 1 through 5. Those are your free options. Thank you so much, Amber, for being here, for joining us, and for sharing your experiences. I'm so happy to hear that your child is doing so great with the sight words and the reading. That is always like super exciting when you can feel those big successes. All right, thank you so much, Amber. Next up, we are going to welcome Christy Clontz up to the stage. Now, Christy's going to come up and speak to us about a few different things, but mainly she's going to talk to us about the homeschoolingmom.org. So, Christy, why don't you go ahead and say hello and introduce yourself, and then we'll dive right into easy peasy freedom homeschooling, Ambleside Online, but of course, most importantly, getting to that homeschoolingmom.org.
Hi. So my name is Christy. I have 3 boys. So we're pretty busy, and not nearly as busy as the woman who had 7. That's a lot. So I'm not on that level by any means, but
I don't think any of us are.
yeah. That's really cool. So I really love Easy Peasy because Easy Peasy is so customizable. The lessons are really short. Most of the time at the lower levels, like say up to maybe middle school, it really only takes like 3 hours to get everything done. My children always tested levels higher than on their CAT test than what their grade levels were using just Easy Peasy. If your kids ever need help or extra which is if they ever need extra practice, all they have to do, I mean, it's really easy to find the worksheets you need if you need to supplement. We didn't usually need to supplement though. So Easy Peasy is really great. You can customize it by your child's grade level. So if your kid is not really that great in math and they're kind of just starting out, you might put them down in the lower levels, but you can have that same child in like a level 4 for reading if that's where they need to be. So I also love that you can customize how much work they do independently compared to how much you do together as a family. So I love that you can organize it so that you can do some of the main themes like history, and they do offer like Bible and science and some of those other things, and they offer a lot of other electives. But it's really neat because you can actually do all of those together as a family all the way through level 8, and then they have their own like high school site for your high schooler to do their own thing. So I like Easy Peasy because it's easy, it's customizable, you can do it independently, you can do it as a family, and you can really kind of set it up however you want to. It gives you a really good base because it exposes you to a lot of different types of homeschooling, a lot of different ways, whether you want to use games. Some of the classes, they just read like living books, like for American history, they just read biographies and stuff that's going on for that. So some of it's games, some of it's books. The reading is really, so I think that it's a really good place, especially for new homeschoolers to start, because you can go in and you can get an idea of what homeschooling looks like without having to spend the money and without having to, and you get exposed to different ways that different subjects can be taught. So
right, yeah, that is the one thing that I actually noted that sounded really interesting to me. Is that it sounds like there's just a lot of variety of different ways that the material is presented across the various subjects. So that's really neat. So you can do the multiple subjects, but then your learner is sort of getting exposed to the various subjects and various material in different ways. So that's really cool. I like that a lot. I also think it's really neat that you can have one student in different subjects at different levels. You know, so if they're really excelling in one, they can move forward as fast as they'd like, and if they're struggling a little bit, then you know they don't have to.
There are tons of parents on their support groups that that are graduating their kids at like 13 years old because they just kept going and going and going, and then I think that
is amazing. Okay, very cool. So talk to us a little bit too about our Freedom Homeschooling.
So Freedom Homeschooling is probably the most comprehensive website that I don't want to say ever, one of the most comprehensive websites that I've come across. They really have a huge selection of free resources. So they lay it out by grade level. They lay it out by subject. They have it set up both ways, and you can use their resources. You can print off free PDFs, like she was talking how The Good and the Beautiful does. This one has list after list after list after list of full curriculums that you can find for free online, one after the other. So you can find old materials like Ray's Arithmetic and print off the entire old book if you wanted to. It also has things like Easy Peasy on the site or Khan Academy and things like that. And they separate what's secular and what is religion-based with little asterisks next to the curriculum so that you can easily skim through to see which ones you would be interested in. So I really, we've used Freedom Homeschooling a lot over the years when I just go through and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is perfect for what we wanted to learn this year. And it's really a really awesome resource for building your own homeschool.
Very good. Okay, I love that. So it's like a little bit of a one-stop shop. You can go there and you can access multiple different things. Very cool. Okay, so now this one I really don't know anything about. So talk to us a little bit about Ambleside Online.
So Ambleside Online is a strictly Charlotte Mason-based homeschool curriculum. The curriculum is available for free, and they also give links. Most of the books and stuff that they read are through Kindle app. They have like a push to Kindle so that you can very quickly and easily have those things just pushed to your Kindle so that your children can have access to them and read them, or the books are available for free on the public domain, or any of those things. So Ambleside Online is a very Christian-based program, and they focus on reading the classics. And everything that your child learns, they learn through living books. So instead of reading a textbook about full of dates of how history was done, that this happened on this date, they might read a biography. Instead of learning about the dates of the American Revolution, for example, they might read a biography on George Washington and see what his personal experiences were, or some excerpts from his diary about what was going on and how they coped with the circumstances they were under and his thoughts and what they were doing. So the point is to get your children more emotionally engaged so that they really remember the ideas and concepts that are being taught behind the events instead of just trying to memorize facts, which would easily be lost.
Yes, I love hearing this. This is really interesting. I'm a firm believer that youth today, they are the most engaged in their learning process when they feel like it can apply to something tangible to them, something that they can really connect with in their real life. Yes. And so this is really neat how this program aims to create that kind of learning environment for them with past material.
Yes.
From the past. Okay, very neat. So let's move to the homeschoolingmom.org. So talk to us about this, the homeschoolingmom.org, kind of how it came to be, what it offers, and everything we need to know about it.
So the homeschoolingmom.org was something that I started a few years ago. I started it as a place because when I started homeschooling, I really didn't know where to go to find resources. There are so many opinions and there are so many, I wanted to know how to do things. So I created a website. I wanted to, in order for it to be a community for people to come to ask for help and to be able to help answer a lot of those questions that people have. I feel like there are a lot of places that people can go. And I want it to be kind of a one-stop shop for information, is what I hope to build it into. So we actually just opened a forum because I really want it to be more about community and being a place that people can go to get their questions answered than to necessarily provide resources. We do have a lot of free things like chore charts and planners and stuff like that that are on there for free. But really the resources aren't the huge part. The biggest part that I want to focus on is information and community. And a lot of that stems from the fact that I didn't know anybody who homeschooled when we decided to start homeschooling. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And so the idea is to kind of bring those things back down to earth and talk to people like normal people and hope that I guess my goal is to help new homeschoolers be able to succeed. So I want to give people the information that they need to not give up, to know how to push through, to overcome those obstacles, because I had all the obstacles and all the things, and I was totally stuck in like what school is supposed to look like. And so I really want to help people overcome those things so that they can be successful, because I really believe that homeschooling is the best choice for most people or for most families.
Yes. Okay. Amazing. So it is sort of a free community of support that homeschooling families, and really most beneficially for new homeschooling families, to tap into and be able to access not only you and ask you questions and get resources from you, but also a whole community of other families that are walking the same.
Absolutely.
Okay, very neat. I love this. Okay, that is really cool. So if you would like to get in touch with Christy, which I'm sure we have people out there who would like to, if you want to talk to her about Easy Peasy, Freedom Homeschooling, Ambleside Online, or if you want to figure out how to get in on this support community with Christy, go ahead and email her. Here's her email right there. Okay, Christy at thehomeschoolingmom.org. So you can go ahead and email her right there. And then you can also go ahead and check out the website, thehomeschoolingmom.org. You can just head right on over there. Okay, thank you so much, Christy, for being here and for sharing with us. Hopefully we can get some families connected with you to help them on their journeys. Okay, thank you so much. All right, next up, we have Miss Shauna Anderson. Shauna, come on up and join me.
Hey. How's it going, Jennifer?
Going very well. I'm glad to have you, a fellow charter schooler. So here we go. We have Shauna here. She's going to talk to us about a really, really, really amazing resource. I'm very excited to share this. She's going to talk to us about uschool.com. So Shauna, I'm just going to kind of let you take it away. If you want to say hi, intro yourself, and then give us the skinny on uschool.
Awesome. Thanks. Yeah. So we are parents to 6 awesome kids that have been in various schooling.
Did you say 6?
Yes.
So you're only 1 behind Leah. So when Christy and I were like, oh no, 7, I'm not there. You were sitting there like, well, I'm kind of close.
I don't know. Leah's a champ. I mean, 7 is a lot. So, but yeah. So I've been working with a independent study charter school in California for I'm going into my 17th year now. So my heart, my passion is really helping those families that are making that jump into homeschooling, that have no idea. So like listening to all these amazing experts and moms, like I could just see these new homeschoolers thinking like, oh my gosh, this is so overwhelming. There's so much out there, right? And so my job at the charter school that I work at, South Sutter Charter, that's our job, is to help filter and provide support and community to people that are making that jump. And so charter schools in our state in California are a great resource, free resource, right? If you want more freedom, doing the private school affidavit is the way to go for sure. So in my journeys in serving families and in talking to people across the country, California, we have some pretty amazing stuff that we even have charter schools, that we have such freedom in homeschooling. For now, I don't want to jinx it, but so across the country, no one has what we have, right? And so just thinking, how can we help these families across the country, especially now after the pandemic, where people's eyes are opened and thinking about how school is not working for them, but what are their options? They don't really know where to go. They type in Google, how do I homeschool in my state? And then it's just overwhelm. And the easy thing to do is send your kid to school, right? So how do we help those families? And so with uschool, we are basically, we put out a bunch of resources to help people. And I could, if you want to email me, I could give you the link to that doc. We just compiled a whole mess of stuff to keep people occupied during the pandemic. But then I think people really want support. They want, I think what draws people to charter schools is that relationship with a teacher, that person that knows your kid, that can help you sift through all of the information and cut the clutter, right? So for some families, I think there's value in that. And luckily here in California, we have that for free. So what we're trying to do is kind of bring that to the country, what we have here in California, help parents bridge that gap. We're made up of educators and homeschool moms. So we just started this company, like, let's bring it to the masses, right? Like you, Jennifer, it's like, we just want to help people and show them how awesome it is. And whether you are wanting to homeschool for, a year, or if you have a health issue, or if you want to do it for the rest of your lives, just being super supportive in everyone's situation. I think everyone just needs support and community. I think that's what I see overwhelming in all the Facebook groups, right? It's like, help, right?
Absolutely.
There's people like you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's great that we have an opportunity to highlight places that people can reach out to. So it sounds like with uschool, it's you and a team of other very experienced individuals that are here to help. And so people can email you. So they can, obviously they can visit uschool.com to check it out, peruse around, see what they can access, but then they can email you directly. And we have your email right here on the screen. It's shauna@uschool.com. And if they email you there, so could theoretically, if I were a brand new homeschooler, I could sit down in front of my computer. I could, okay, Shauna, hi, Shauna. My name is Jennifer. I'm brand new to this. I live in Kansas. I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea where to start. I really have very little budget. I have to figure out how to do this for X amount a month, but I don't know where to start. Can you help me with some free resources and pointing me in the right direction? And that's pretty much exactly what you can help me with.
Yep. And we have help. We have, if you want to pay money to have someone be your personal consultant, like your yes, but yes, our goal, our vision, our mission is to help people and to make it more accessible, make it sustainable for people, because you can start out, right, and it gets overwhelming if you don't have the support. And so to provide that support for people, and then just make it, accessible to people that don't have access to this, right? What a gift that we have that here. So reaching the people where they don't even know that this is even a viable option, right?
Okay, amazing. I love this. Okay, thank you so much. So one more time, again, go ahead and make your way over to uschool.com, peruse the website, access some cool stuff, and then go ahead and shoot Shauna an email if you have any more questions. If you want to connect with them. Yeah, she's got a whole team back there ready to help you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us and for sharing. I really enjoyed chatting. Okay, now we have our last guest coming up, and this is not anybody that is new to any of you. If you have literally watched a single one of my videos that I am involved in, you have met Miss Windi Eklund. Hello, Windi. I'm so happy to see you.
Hi, Jennifer. Hi, everybody. I'm happy to be here.
So here we are. Of course, I see you and I'm already thinking what other sort of political things do we need to discuss? But first, we are going to get to helping the people homeschool for free. So you have some amazing resources. I am super excited to have you talk about Homeschool Concierge and the things that you offer through there, because let's be honest, everybody who homeschools wants to personally be able to access Windi Eklund. And then of course, and I love it because you're always so modest. And then of course, we're gonna hear all of Windi's tips, all of her knowledge that she wants to impart on us. Okay. So why don't you just say hi and I guess introduce yourself for anyone who happens to not know, but then go ahead and dive into Homeschool Concierge.
Okay, so I'm Windi Eklund. I'm a homeschool mom of 3. I have a 17-year-old, a 13-year-old, and an 8-year-old, and we've been homeschooling, it feels like forever. So we also started out our homeschool journey in a charter school, and we have recently left. About a year and a half ago, we left the charters for more freedom. We felt like they were constricting us, and so my high schooler left first, and then the younger 2 followed him. I love all of the resources that have already been shared. I did found a nonprofit, a very small nonprofit a number of years ago. It's, run by homeschool parents, and we have a ton of free resources. We do videos similar to this that are posted on our website. We have homeschool expert panels, and we have homeschool one-on-ones. We've had people like Kathy Duffy, Josh Berg from Beautiful Feet Books. So we've had all kinds of really cool guests. We had a panel of representatives from all the homeschool associations in California, and HSLDA also joined us. So that's a great one to watch if you're new to homeschooling and you want to learn about our associations. So on Homeschool Concierge, we also have a huge list of free resources, and we have a free newsletter. It's a periodic newsletter that you can sign up for. And in that, we're always giving free tips on ways to homeschool and helpful information. And then we also started a number of years ago an ambassador program where families, my children love field trips, and we've always done, before COVID, about 2 or 3 field trips a week. And so I started a program where we have these ambassadors, and those are parents that come on under Homeschool Concierge, and we help them set up the field trips. We do the legwork, and then they can show up, and they basically get they can do the field trip for free, and take advantage of any free tickets that are given by the venue. And so I love that program because it helps parents who are on a budget be able to still do field trips. So that program has kind of dwindled away to nothing during COVID, but we're going to be starting that back up as things open up. So Homeschool Concierge was set up to support the community and whatever it needed. So if you need something, you should reach out to Homeschool Concierge and we'll figure out how to make that happen. And then one of my favorite free resources, of course, has been the internet. So my children we've tried every method, but we've ended up being unschoolers. And so I follow their interests, and I'm not a planner. I don't like to plan. I like to see where life is taking us. And so, they'll wake up and they'll have an interest in something, and we just Google search. We go to the library. There's all kinds of free resources like you've heard. And I think if you look at our list on Homeschool Concierge, you'll be shocked by how long that list is. But one thing that's really stood out in my mind is that, I wasn't always super confident in my math skills. And I don't know if any of you are aware of Bright Start Math. It's not a free curriculum. You have to pay for it. But on their website, they have a ton of resources. And one of those resources is they offer webinars for parents. And so when I was trying to teach fractions for the first time, I was like, I don't remember how fractions work. And so I did the webinar, and the way they explained it clicked, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember how to do fractions now. So they have all these amazing free webinars that even if you're not using their curriculum, I think that you might find helpful in building your confidence in teaching math to your children. So that's one that I've loved. And then my kids also love Roald Dahl books. And so we've done over and over again, because my children are all 5 years apart, we have done studies of the Roald Dahl books. And there's tons of free resources on things that you can plug in as you're reading those books. And then you can compare the book to the movies that have been made or the plays that have been done. And a lot of those movies are for free streaming. So that's also, a fun thing that we've done. So there's just so many fun, free things that you can do. That's all I have to say about that, I guess.
I love that resource about the webinars for parents.
Yeah.
I have never heard of, of any group, company, business offering something like that, but what an amazing idea.
So many of our curriculum companies offer these types of free things. I know Bookshark offers free parent webinars. And also, I don't know if you guys are aware about Rainbow Resource. If you're looking for curriculum, even if you don't buy it from them, they have free homeschool curriculum consulting. You can book an appointment with one of their consultants, and if you want to buy curriculum, they'll help you find curriculum, and they are super knowledgeable. Most of them have graduated their students. So there's tons of free resources in our community, even from our curriculum companies. Beautiful Feet Books has free things on their website. I don't know if any of you are aware of Moxie Box Art, but they have a mail to your home art kit. They have a really cool feature on their website that was actually created by the guy who created Apples to Apples. And he has gone through and figured out where certain art is that you can look at online there. Or if, say, you're traveling on a road trip and you want to know what art is in a certain museum that you might want to go see, you can search through this database. So if you need help finding any of these cool free things, let me know, because there's tons of them.
Yeah, okay, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. Here we have Windi, just in casual conversation. Well, let me just spout out 5 more amazing resources off the top of my head. Okay, so if you want to access Windi, if you want to talk to her, here's her phone number. We're just going to leave her phone number right here on the screen. You can go and call her. You can text her. Of course, you can go check out the website. You can always go to homeschoolconcierge.com, peruse around. There's tons of stuff you can click on. The webinars are posted, the past ones, so you can view them. One thing I would like to add that I just personally think is super, super cool about the webinars that are run through Homeschool Concierge. I've attended a few of them. And it's not like those webinars that you do where you see the people on the screen and then you listen and then you leave and that's that. It is super interactive. One particular one, I'm pretty sure I had 6 or 7 questions. And I just kept typing my little questions in, and they really do take the time to ask the questions, get them answered, find out the info that that you actually want to know. So I found that to be really awesome. I really like that about it. So I just wanted to share that. Okay.
We give one more tip.
Yes.
You're brand new to homeschooling and maybe you're not wanting to do the charter and you're not wanting to do a private school satellite program. If you want help in filing your private school affidavit, all of our homeschool associations have free resources on their website. I'm currently serving as the president of California Homeschool Network, and we have literally step-by-step directions on how to file your PSA, which you don't need to do till October, between October 1st and 15th. And we also offer these Tuesday free, just kind of come on and chat with us if you have questions, you're feeling nervous, or you need help with anything. So again, free resources everywhere. And CHN is not the only one to do that. The other ones do it as well.
Very good. Okay. I'm going to put the phone number up here one more time. So if you want to talk to Windi further, you have more questions, you just want to bounce some ideas off of her.
Just want to say hi.
Yeah, that's just make a new friend. Honestly, I just have to share. Windi and I have actually never met in person. I look forward to the day that we do, but
Yes.
like we're just grand old friends by now.
Yes. I know I told someone today that we've never met in person and we only met during this legislation. They're like, what? I thought you guys have known each other forever. I'm like, no.
That's so funny. I know. And we don't even particularly live that close to each other either.
We don't. Sometimes I wish we do. I'm like, oh, I want to do that field trip with you.
I know. We talk all the time about like, oh, we wish we could get our kids together, our families together. I know, we would have a good old time.
We'll have to do
All
it.
right.
We'll see.
So, Windi, give her a call, find her on Homeschool Concierge, go to her webinar, she'll meet with you one-on-one, contact her. I know she said it before, but if you are apprehensive about contacting her, if you're worried about your budget, if you're worried about what you can afford, you know, she really is more here to help you than anything else. So don't be afraid to reach out and just at least put the question out into the atmosphere. She's here to help you.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much, Windi, for being here and for joining us and for sharing all your expertise.
Well, thanks for having us and for hosting this. I think it's an awesome resource. Thanks, Jennifer.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I'll always accept free props from Windi Eklund. All right, have a great evening. Okay, and that wraps up our homeschooling for free. Hopefully you got some new tips, some free resources you want to try out. And again, please do not hesitate to reach out. We are here to help you. If you have any questions, reach out to our guests. You can email them, call them, visit their websites. And of course, you can always reach out to myself. You can find me on social media at just_Jennifer13. And you can email me all the time at AtTheTableJM@gmail.com. Last but certainly not least, be sure to subscribe to At the Table with Jennifer McQueen so you don't miss any updates. We have California legislation updates coming with myself and Windi, as well as special interviews. So you don't want to miss out. Check it out, and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.